Welcome to Unveiling Beauty, the video podcast that focuses on your beauty and self-care. I'm your host, Anna Manukian, and joining me today is none other than Director of Education for Briogeo, Becca Cullati. Becca, thank you so much for being here.
Hi, and I'm so excited to be here and with all your Ulta Beauty viewers today.
So I'm really excited for a couple of reasons. I think because if you're in education, I'm so excited to learn from you about all of the things that we need to know about, not only like what makes our hair feel and look good, color protection, scalp health, and I know you've got a lot to share with us today.
Absolutely. I'm hoping to debunk some of the mysteries that we attribute to hair today.
So there's definitely a lot of mysteries that we attribute to hair. So when you think through the lens of really being somebody that educates consumers, clients, salon professionals on things that we absolutely need to know, what are you most excited about to share today?
Well, hair, we forget sometimes that a 360 holistic approach to hair and scalp can really impact a healthy hair journey. We think sometimes we've learned to treat our skin, I think, at this time, right? But our hair, we tend to think our skin stops here and forget that there's a lot of things to treat underneath this beautiful head of hair.
So scalp health. I feel like scalp health, I'm starting to hear a little bit more of a conversation about, but I still feel like there's so much unknown. So when it comes to scalp health, what are some of the things that are, because sometimes it is, if people have sensitive scalps or psoriasis or things like that, right, sometimes it feels a little bit like, oh, can I ask that question? Can I talk about it? What are some of the most important things that our guests should know about?
You're right. It is so sensitive, right? I don't know why it is, but it's a very personal thing. And I think it's something we haven't talked about until recently. But like I was saying, your facial skin doesn't end here. And this is where everything grows. Taking supplements, doing hair treatments, all of those things will help. But your follicles, if they become inflamed, will not be able to absorb nutrients they need to grow your hair healthy and strong. So it really is about treating your scalp exactly the same way you treat your facial skin, with exfoliation, with hydration, and really creating a great environment to grow hair.
So tell me more about exfoliating the scalp, because it feels like, do I put things in there? Is it going to be hard to rinse out? How do I do that?
Right. Well, we actually make a scalp scrub. We make a scalp scrub shampoo made with charcoal and biotin. It's in our Scalp Revival line. And subbing that out once a week as an exfoliator, we use little tiny beads so they won't be harsh. They won't inflame any of those follicles. Once a week, subbing your shampoo for that will make such an impact in the level of hydration and how your scalp overall performs.
I love that. So walk me through it. So I'm in the shower. I use a little bit of the exfoliating shampoo. Am I using it at the scalp? Am I putting it through the ends? Tell me more.
This is actually our scalp scrub shampoo, the Scalp Revival. You actually want to apply it right to your scalp. It goes in there. We go with little piano fingers, we call it, or we have an amazing silicone tool that we use in stores to really go in there and help to treat. We'll gently exfoliate, rinse it out, and then follow with either a scalp mask for hydration, or you can follow up with your regular conditioner.
So this is the Despair. Let's see. Okay, so I think I need this.
I think you do too.
But let me ask you this. So you guys have heard me say this many times, I typically wash my hair about twice a week.
Okay.
So if I'm washing my hair about twice a week, am I using this every other week? Am I using this once a month?
I'm so glad you asked. I get that question probably more than anything else, is if I only wash my hair once a week, can I use it once a week? And absolutely. I tend to tell people to listen to their skin, their hair, and their scalp. It smells like a mint cookie, doesn't it?
It really does smell like a mint cookie.
I know. And the men in my life love this because it really helps to exfoliate. For men who shave their heads, this is a great prime and really helps to exfoliate.
So it really has, because I was thinking that the texture of this, I know it's kind of hard to see, but I was thinking the texture of this was going to be a bit more like crystallized. This is a very fine micro exfoliator. This is amazing.
It is. It's actually a cellulose that we use instead of something that may be damaging, or a microplastic that might damage the environment, because that's very, very important to who we are.
But I feel like this, with feeling the texture of it, it all really takes away the fear of, oh my gosh, what if I don't rinse it out well enough? Like, this is really dissipating even in my hands. This is wonderful.
And if someone does have denser, coilier hair, I recommend rinsing in sections just to make sure they get it all through. However, it does rinse out very clean and nice. And those little beads are very, very soft and very gentle, so they won't damage or cause any irritation.
I love.
Yes.
So definitely learned something new today.
Yeah.
So I noticed something about you and I both, is that we love our vibrant hair. And I also know that, so much of the conversation is around, especially when we are dealing with whether it's a redhead, coppers, violet tones like yours, or any brighter tones, that such a consistent question is, okay, wonderful. What's the upkeep? What do I do to keep this color in my hair?
Right. Right. And, hair is, I was reading on the plane, actually, there's a few things your body makes that it doesn't need anymore. It's like your appendix, the goosebump mechanism, right? And the other thing is your hair on your head is not necessary. So it makes sense that, you and I and everyone out here would be using it as a way to express ourselves creatively, show who we are, and really let ourselves shine through.
Yeah.
Which is why we want to keep it vibrant and strong consistently. So we actually are coming out with, this is brand new Ulta exclusive, only can get this at Ulta Beauty, our Color Me Brilliant collection. It uses ingredients to help keep that hair vibrant, no matter up to 30 washes, which is a lot it's more washes than I normally do in between
color
coloring.
services, yeah.
And it helps keep your hair vibrant, strong, and expressing yourself creatively.
So I would love to see, because when you think about it, it's hard to visualize what actually happens to color when you think through wash after wash after wash after wash. And I saw you pull something out of your bag earlier that I think is so impactful to see.
Well, first I took 3 strips of hair and I dyed them on blonde extensions. So I dyed them all with the exact same hair dye. And then this was a freshly colored piece. Red tends to fade the fastest, as I'm sure you know.
It does.
So I went with a freshly colored piece. This has never been washed. And this is just completely dyed. Then I took a competitor shampoo and I washed it 30 times.
That went from that to that?
This was the exact same color. And the competitor, reputable brand, we see that there's a lot of fading. And why that is, shampoo is where stripping happens. We're 6 free at Briogeo, which means we don't use any harsh sulfates. We don't use any silicones. We don't use anything that might strip your hair. But most shampoos do have things that do that. So you can see here that the color actually has faded. It's been stripped and still a beautiful color, actually. But it's not the color that we were trying to achieve. Then I washed 30 times with Briogeo Color Me Brilliant shampoo. And look at this. Look at the difference. First, I love to compare it directly to the freshly dyed. Because I wouldn't look at that.
It's hard to tell that there's even a difference. That's incredible.
I see a little bit, but I really have to stretch.
A little bit lighter, but that's,
I wouldn't think I needed a touch-up if my hair looked like this. I probably would see my gray roots growing.
That actually looks like what your hair typically looks like on shampoo number 1, quite honestly.
Right. Yeah. So this is completely 30 washes. And then I did with my competitor, same thing.
Wow.
So you can see the fade between the Briogeo 30 washes Color Me Brilliant shampoo.
Gorgeous.
It uses turkey tail mushroom and bamboo to really help reflect that light and protect that color while giving your hair the nutrients it needs to continue to grow, to stay healthy, to fight damage.
Did you say turkey tail mushroom?
Turkey tail
Mushrooms are really having a moment as active ingredients, aren't they? And I've heard a lot of great things about that as an ingredient. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it really is. And we take these natural ingredients that the earth has told us are so great and infuse them with science so that your body and hair really know what to do with them. Your scalp and hair really know what to do with them. So the turkey tail mushroom and bamboo extract combined with flaxseed oil and other oils that are going to leave your hair healthy, strong, and growing the way you want it to, or cut the way you want it to.
Looking and feeling amazing. That's fantastic. Yes. Now, tell me about, because we know certain ingredients that are really good for us. Are there often ingredients that we tend to reach for that we actually should be avoiding?
Well, I talk about us being 6 free, and Nancy Twine, our founder here at Briogeo, is part of the conscious beauty effort at Ulta. It's something that she's very, very passionate about. Her mom was a chemist, and so she has a lot of insight to creating products, from the earth. So we tend to avoid things at Briogeo like harsh sulfates, which can strip color. I think we learned about that during the Brazilian blowout craze.
Sure did. We sure did.
And silicones are something I'd really like to show. The hero of the Color Me Brilliant collection really is the heat protection primer. And this is heat protection up to 450 degrees. And
450
that's as hot as anything goes, I think,
also,
right?
I hope no one's actually using 450 degrees, but if you were, this will protect you.
Yes, if you were. We could go for one of our amazing GHD tools to help protect with that heat.
Love that.
But the primer, a lot of times primers use silicone to protect against heat. We actually use natural oils. We use a Nova complex in everything. We make natural oils, vitamins, and antioxidants. So rather than using silicones, we use natural oils to really treat that hair, repair that hair. And in this primer will help your color shine through even brighter and for your hair to really achieve that optimal hair health.
Well, one of the reasons, quite honestly, why we reach for silicone so much is because of the cosmetic feel. So talk to me about the cosmetic feel of this?
Well, the same way that you would put, if you have a dry cracked nail and you put an acrylic nail over it, it feels so good, right? It looks healthy in the time you have it on. You love, love everything about it. But underneath that, if anyone's ever taken gel nails off or acrylic nails, underneath your nail hasn't absorbed any nutrients.
Yeah.
It's a similar thing with silicones.
Okay.
It actually just coats the hair shaft, so it feels great. But over time, it can lead to damage.
I love that example. Yeah, show me what you have. I'm so curious about this, please.
A little experiment, if I could.
Please.
I'm just going to move this over. And this, what I have here is 2 oils. One is our Briogeo Strengthening Treatment Oil, clinically proven to restore up to 88% of damage after 2 uses. And then in the other, I have a competitor oil with silicone.
Okay.
So we're 6-free. We don't use any silicones. Now, in the first one, I would like to drop a cotton ball. And I want you to see what happens. See how the cotton ball is absorbing all of this. I'm going to let it sit here for a minute. It's going to sink, but you can see it's absorbing the oils and sinking to the bottom. Now, in the other beaker, I'm going to drop the same cotton ball in the competitor oil, and I want you to see the difference here. See how it just floats on top?
Yeah, it's not going down at all.
It's not going down at all because it's not able to absorb. Eventually, the cotton ball would get heavy and sink, but if I were to cut it open, you'd see on the inside there's nothing being absorbed. And you can see the top, I'm just going to pull it out. It's totally wet.
That's really interesting. I've never seen that comparison before. That's quite fascinating, actually.
And then look at this. In this one, it's absorbed all of those oils. And you can tip this. You see here, it's really, really absorbing that. And think about this. It's a natural fiber. It's 100% cotton, as your hair is. So you can imagine on your hair shaft how these oils being absorbed is going to give you that optimal balance of moisture that allows it to bounce back when you pull it out of that ponytail.
That's quite amazing. So it's actually going inside the shaft of your hair to really provide that moisture from within.
Exactly.
That's a really beautiful example.
Yeah, it's really a powerful experiment. See, I'm going to pull these out before they get all. And it's just very interesting because you can see that one's dry. This one, completely absorbed.
I mean, I don't know about you, but I definitely think that you've earned your title of Director of Education and then some. This was incredibly educational.
Well, can I throw in one more little top tip?
Please. Yes, please.
One more top tip. I want to make sure, because this is a great weekly, however often you wash your hair system, the Color Me Brilliant shampoo, conditioner, and primer to help heat protect. Okay. But once a week, when you're doing your scalp revival, I would recommend the Don't Despair Repair Deep Conditioning Mask. It's our top seller. It's our top seller. I can't not talk about it.
Oh my gosh.
Once a week in the shower, silicone free, going to give you all of that absorption that we saw here. It's argan oil. It helps with algae extract to give you some antioxidants and really will help treat your hair. It's clinically proven. It smells so good. And everything's between 90 and 100% natural, so you can always be confident in what you're putting in your hair. Use it twice, and you'll see 60% less breakage and 2 times stronger hair.
So I would pretend to put this back on the table, but I'm actually going to stash this and take this back with me.
I think you've earned it. You can
I think I've earned it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Such a pleasure. Thank you so much for being here. I've learned so much.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Unveiling Beauty. If you want to learn more or purchase any of the incredible Briogeo products that Becca talked about today, please visit your local Ulta Beauty or shop online. And you know what? We know that sharing is caring. And I think Becca really wants to share her favorites with you. Comment in the episode notes below, and you will have a chance to win all of Becca's favorite Briogeo products. Thanks again. Tune in next time. And until then, stay well, be beautiful, and be you.